Hi, today we are going to start this case of Frank in SimuCase. Before beginning the case, read pages 238 to 240 and page 222 and 223 in your FPOA textbook because they will help provide some background information on Parkinson's disease as well as vision changes that can occur with Parkinson's. Make sure that you assign into the case of Frank on assessment and not intervention. You can do the case as many times as you like in learning mode, but when you're ready, part 1 of the case should be completed in assessment mode and then save and exit when you're finished. By Friday at 11:59 p.m. Central Standard Time, you're to achieve mastery level completion with a score of 80% or higher on the total case of Frank. By the end of the day today, you should have the information needed to complete an occupational profile, which would be the initial step in the process of evaluating Frank. Today's objectives are to demonstrate understanding of Frank's occupational history and experiences, his patterns of daily living, interests, values, and needs. Understand and articulate Frank's reasons for seeking services. What are his strengths and concerns in relation to performing occupations and daily life activities? What are some areas of potential occupational disruption, supports, and barriers? And make sure you identify priorities for support. When you're going through the guiding questions for today, you are not required to type the answers in the clipboard except when you get to the end at the hypothesis question. The activities and guiding questions are merely to help guide your clinical reasoning and problem solving throughout the case. First, you want to start off going through the case history. This is where you're going to find out his personal and medical history. What's his living situation? Does he have family support? What is a typical day for Frank like? And what are his patterns of daily living? What are his interests, values, and needs? And what are his areas of concern? How does he perform his ADLs and IADLs, and how much assistance does he require? How does Frank access the community? So these are all how you're going to start the process and get his history. Next, you want to choose who you're going to collaborate with. Who is it appropriate to collaborate with to obtain additional information that you might need to provide services that Frank requires? What additional information did you learn from the collaborations with others that help guide his plan of care? And lastly, you want to complete the hypothesis section. This section I do want you to type into SimuCase and on the clipboard because this is going to be the section that guides what assessments you're going to choose to do in part 2. So first you want to write a problem list for Frank based on the information you've learned so far. Based on his problem list, develop a minimum of 3 hypotheses. What is your initial assessment of what is hindering Frank's independence with occupations and community reintegration? This will be hypothesis 1. Provide a rationale of your thoughts in 2 to 3 sentences in the clipboard. And then for hypothesis 2, if you were in the clinic, what else would you like to know in addition to the information you've been provided in the case so far? And also I want you to think about the rationale and provide that in sentences in the clipboard. And then lastly, how would you go about obtaining more information? This is a good time to begin thinking about what areas you would need to assess and what assessments you're going to use when you get to the assessment section in part 2. Tuesday, we're going to have a debrief session. Lab A, number 1, will be from 10 to 10:40. Lab A number 2 will be from 11 to 11:40. Lab B number 3 will be from 10 to 10:40. And Lab B number 4 will be from 11 to 11:40. I will be with the Lab A groups and Dr. Booker will be with the Lab B groups. In Tuesday's debrief, I want you to be prepared to discuss your hypotheses and potential assessments that you will do in part 2 of SimuCase. Good luck and please reach out to us if you have any questions.